Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fan Cams. It's round 22. We played Geelong down at GMHBA Stadium. Glad that's out the way. And it was looking to go a little bit dirty in the second quarter. I'm not going to lie. Even I considered switching off, and that would have been a first for me. It was looking like it was going to be a percentage booster for Geelong. But pleasingly, they really dug deep. It was a terrific pressure performance from them tonight. A clear gap in class, but honestly, I am pretty impressed with their, endeavour, their general endeavour. Hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, welcome. I will chuck the link to jump on into the chat. If you feel like it, please feel free to click the button and jump on and join me for a chat. It'd be great to get some new voices, new perspectives, and see how we go tonight. But of course, we can talk about anything else, the VFL, which was fun, the coaching, whatever's on your mind. Who do we have here? Chris giving us quarterly updates of the game. So it looks like Coanda turned off early. Fair enough too. Music Cat, congratulations, well played. We knew that's where it was going to go, but we had some positives too. Sharp and Vigo, the clear outliers for me. Honestly, such good signs from Vigo. Very impressed. He obviously comprehensively won the hit-outs, but some nice work around the ground too. He's bigger frame, bigger body. He holds himself well in the contest. Obviously, he'll come up against some much bigger and more powerful rucks in his time, but I thought it was a terrific first showing for him, which is good. It's been building, so I feel like I've seen this coming. Dave, yes, absolutely nailed it. It was also good to see, I thought, Caldwell back. Some of the shell was back there. You'll notice that Sharp and Calder's had quite low, effective disposals, but it's because so many of their disposals were contested. They led the way for tackles, and a lot of their disposal were under high pressure situations and under a lot of pressure when delivering their disposal. So naturally, it's going to be less effective. Luke, how are you doing, Luke? Why the hell have we been paying Brian ahead of Vigo? Well, two reasons. We've got to see what we've got with Brian. 100%. We've got to get him some consistency. He's done ACL, so, he needs time to find that consistency. And Vigo's been injured. So he's done 2 hamstrings this year. So he hasn't been able to get the fluidity in his game, unfortunately. But hopefully now we will. Hello, Moby. Thank you so much for the super chat. He's big and he's Italian. Watch out, big ginger. Yeah. Yeah. He's got a little way to go, but I am very, very impressed. Really impressed with him. And it's only up from here. He must play the next couple of games. I think even if Brian comes back, well, what do you think? If Brian's back, is there room for Brian, Vigo, and Peter Wright? Dunno. Carolyn, Reed and Vigo both listed as injured. Vigo just got that hit in the back from deconing that I think he just got maybe a little bit winded, or he looks like he was cramping in his hammies a little bit as well. But I did check up on Reed, and I was told they think he just got a small clip to the lower leg. So touch wood, that's all it is for him. He was okay tonight, I thought. But we'll wait and see. Hello, Shaky Snake. Upside here is that we're playing the players we need to and in the positions they need to be played. We just need more talent and maturity. Yeah. And I like that. I like that we tried some shit. McGrath was up forward, and then he and Zach Johnson switched, and he went back, and Zach Johnson went up forward, and McGrath played on Manor, and just trying some stuff. So I didn't mind it. Hello, Troy. Hello, Xavier. Vigo is a number 1 ruck. Chris, this is why I've never rated Peter Wright, goes missing far too often. Oh, that's harsh. That's incredibly harsh. Very harsh. He had literally 3 hanging off him all night and was deployed closer to goal in the second half, which allowed Caddy to get up the ground, which is why he did. So very harsh. In my opinion, of course, things are really fucked when we're happy with a 67-point loss. I wouldn't say I'm happy, but considering I thought it was going to be 167 points, yeah, I'm a bit relieved. So no, I'm not happy. Am I happy? No. Am I happy losing, doing this, talking to you after a loss every week? No. Why do you want me to scream and shout and thrash my arms about? I mean, I can rhyme for you, but what am I going to do? 2 rounds left. Oh no. I'm a little tiny bit under the weather. I was just about to sneeze. Tiny little bit under the weather, a little sniffle. So if I sneeze tonight, I do apologise. 2 more rounds left. Yes, Chris, 2 more. Yes, lots of love for Vigo. We love that. How about the 1-point thrill over Collingwood in the VFL? Who here made it to the VFL today? The joy. Do you know, I completely forgot what it was like to go to a game and feel giddy in the lead up. I felt giddy in the lead up, like getting dressed and preparing for the game. I bounced out of bed and driving to the game. And then the joy, just the unbridled joy that I felt, I completely forgot what it was like. Obviously, as many of you know, I missed the GWS win, unfortunately. And yeah, I forgot that feeling. You cannot replicate that feeling. Jumping up at the siren. And I was in the social club section, and the boys, our injured boys, Dursma, May, Jarine, Hayes, Roby, were all sitting there. And when Kalparkis took the mark in our forward 50 close to goal, and then handballed, took the winning mark, I guess, to get us that last goal, Gresh's last goal. The boys, we looked over to the boys and they were on their feet, like cheering at the mark when Kalparkis took the mark, very close to goal. Oh my God, the looks on their faces, joy. And sometimes you've got to find that joy and invite that joy in, when it's all gone to shit. It's hard to do that when the vibe is low. On a low vibe day, when we support a team that's on the bottom of the ladder, we've had 2 wins. It's been a shit show of a year. It's been a circus. None of us bought a ticket there. But you just look to your left, sometimes to your right, sometimes up or down, and you look and you find the joy and you let the joy fill you up inside. And then you win by 1 point against Collingwood, and that fills you with more joy. Okay, I'm on a tangent now. Where was I? Hello, Bobby. Thank you for the super chat. Get well soon. Thank you for this. Much love. Appreciate the support. Oh, God. All right. Where was I? Chris, this is how low we've come. If we're impressed with the endeavour, we're a shit show of a team. There are no positives from losing by 67 points. Again, who's impressed? Like, we're taking the good from a very bad situation. And, nobody's complacent. Like, they're certainly not complacent internally. Fans are not complacent. But, again, you can choose to live in a negative mindset, or you can choose to stay in the positive mindset and still acknowledge the negatives, because the negative mindset will never give you a positive life. So every one of us has a choice which mindset to choose. And I actively choose not to sit and stew in the muck. But I'm not burying my head under the sand. Nobody is. Hello, Will. Went to the game, now back on the way to Traralgon. Well, travel safe. Good on you for sitting out there in the rain. It didn't look like it was a huge crowd, even from a Geelong point of view. I don't know. Did it feel like that, Will? It didn't look like it to me, but, I'm no doctor. I don't know. TL Vigo has done a power of work with Goldie. He really has, both on and off the field. Was Vigo concussed when he went off? No. Again, not a doctor, but didn't look like it to me. There was no head contact, I don't think. For anybody interested in the VFL, Tyler Sellers tells me that he passed his concussion test, which is wonderful, so he'll be good to go for next week. Unfortunately, Christian Ferrinato not looking good for that shoulder of his, which is unfortunate because it was his first game back, and he's done a mountain of work to help us get to where we are in the VFL. So a bit of a shame. We still haven't made the finals yet, obviously, the VFL, but if we do get there, he would have been a big part of why we did. So that's a shame. So get well soon, Christian. But Sal is good to go, and he's had a terrific year, so he deserves to play if we do make it. Hello, Pete. I think we have a chance against Port because they also shock us. How much did they lose by in the end to Sydney? Oh, we could be on the end of that next week, couldn't we? Yikes. That's not going to be pretty at all, is it, guys? Yeah, okay. 97 point loss to Sydney. In Sydney. Okay, we might be able to shave 20 points off that at Marvel. What do you reckon? I reckon 20 or so. Oh, Coron is Coronios. Okay. Vigo number 1, Ruckman from now on. Yeah, I'd love to see him stay in. Richard says there's room for everyone. Yes, I want to know. Do we think there's room for everyone? In everyone, Vigo, Bryza, and Pete? Because we've really got to keep seeing what Bryza's got. We can't be. Yeah, I've got the butter menthols, Chris. I got them. Been sucking on them. Who knows what? I don't think they do much, but they make me feel like I'm, actively helping myself get better. Pressure rating was consistent. Yep. Hello, Matthew. Vigo got better as the game went on. Sharp continues to play beyond his years. He does. Atush, don't let this distract you from the fact that Geelong should be stripped from all of their premierships and Carlton should get Graham Mize for free and Essendon get Bailey Smith for free. Ooh. I'm happy to sign a waiver. I will get it notarized, though, unlike some, so don't worry about that. Hello, Shaky. Fans may think Caddy goes missing, but opposing coaches know where he is at all times. Guaranteed he's a focus for them every time they play us. Spot on. The forwards are going to go missing. Huss is going to go missing. They are all going to go missing. The defenders are going to find plenty of it. But in our team, forwards are going to go missing. That is just what comes with a developing team, a midfield that has no idea what the forwards are thinking, a midfield and a forward group that have no chemistry whatsoever, a forward line that barely have any chemistry in amongst themselves. They're going to go missing, all of them. So let's wait and judge when they've played, a handful of games together. So are you taking Emright or Pops Kelly? No, I don't. No, we're not. They are interested in the Carlton job. Good for them. Troy had the potential to be a 90-plus point belting. 67 points is a fair result. Definitely. Again, why is we not, yelling and screaming like madmen interpreted as accepting mediocrity? Is anybody complacent or happy with losing? No. But we are well-regulated, grounded, down-to-earth people who can hold two sets of feelings and not lose our minds at once. Tim, apparently we rated number 1 in the AFL for tackles and pressure rating for the last 3 weeks. That doesn't sound right. Are we sure? Where did that come from? That just doesn't sound right to me. How? I mean, I'd be impressed if that was right. Hello, Mark. I think you're being a little mean here, so I take that hello back. Michael, just heading home drenched from that dump of a ground. What is apparent is the desperate need for some on-field leadership. No point having good youngsters if they don't have top leaders. Yeah, agree. Well said. Go get warm, have a warm shower, warm cup of tea, bowl of soup. Well done for getting down there. Matthew Sharp is our best player already. He really is. He really, really is. And doesn't look frazzled or overwhelmed, does he? Just taking it in his stride, almost like saying, bring it on, inviting. Like sometimes I think some of these players, when they're, getting drafted, they don't know, like when you sign up for the AFL, you sign up you agree to the T's and C's, the commitment, you accept the terms basically. And Dyson Sharp just reminds you of someone who's just set the goal, accepted the T's and C's, and is just doing everything he can to achieve said goal, despite how hard it will be, despite any adversity that comes on the journey. He accepted the terms, he accepted the price, the cost that is going to come with this, because he doesn't look shaken by the losing, and I guess the mindset shift that has happened for all of them, because naturally losing will shake your confidence and will test your resolve. And he just doesn't look like that's happened. And I get he's a first-year player, so he's still full of beans, but I don't know, he just doesn't drop his head. Hello, Andy. We won the third quarter. I'll take that. It wasn't as bad as the Hawks loss. Nah. A different flavour. There's flavours of loss, and one has endeavour and one doesn't. So they're not the same losses at all. Definitely not. Now let's announce Graham as new coach, please, and let us get out of this hole. Yeah. ASAP, right? It would be very Essendon-like to beat Port by 10 goals. That would not be to script, little hats. Sharp, what legend. Zeret was unreal today. Anthony, language, please, got kids watching. Well, unfortunately, just words. No aggressive tone to it, just words. Loved it when Taylor Byrne KO'd Blickstars when you played them. Taylor Byrne, geez, he looks 12. Speaking of kids, he looks like a kid. Considering we have gave them a 10-goal head start, we improved. A long way to go. Yeah, again, a long, long way to go. We all know that. Sharp is Joel Selwood 2.0. Our future captain and Vigo looks the goods. Don't think that we are getting Harry Van Haddam. Okay. I'm happy we lost by 11 goals. We're pissed off because we got it back to 7 goals. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Matthew. Whoever takes over as the new coach, he should take over immediately. We'll see what he's like in the heat of battle when the pressure on him in the last 2 games of the year. Interesting. I don't think it is my belief that we may not know next week. Just putting it out there. We might, but it is my belief that we might not. Just saying. Which, again, as I said in my previous video last week, there could be 2 that they are just stuck on, or the panel could be split. I know it's 5, but it might be 6. And, they could be split. They have follow-up questions. They want to interview them again on a Zoom call, on a phone, or they want to check backgrounds of, the team that these coaches want to bring. It's not just all straightforward is my point. So I know the fatigue is real, and man, I'm projecting my own impatience, of course. I need this to be done immediately so the speculation can end. But I prefer them to be thorough than to, speed through the process. Oh, speaking of, sorry, Moby, I didn't see you. I didn't see that. I just came out with that. Let's run a sweep on the coach announcement. I'm going Tuesday, 3:48 p.m. I'm going to say not next week, the week after. Maybe on the Monday of the week after. SJ AFL crowds are so bad this year all around. Andrew Dillon needs to be sacked. Have they really been down? Like the numbers measured up against last year's numbers? I think people are just like, I know it's easy to blame the hierarchy, and granted, like I would lay a lot of shit at their door, but I think this is also society, the way society is headed. And a lot more people opting to be hermits and to stay indoors and not go out. I honestly do think that, because this winter has not been that bad so far. Not been that many horrifically cold or rainy, stormy nights. I can't speak for interstate, but in Melbourne, certainly. So I think this is just a reflection, a mirror of where society's going personally. Or there's definitely an element to that. Jade, fair to say you're bloody committed to this club to sit in the rain. Still, I'm happy with the result. Could have been worse. Yes, true. Go and get warm, Jade. Another one who was brave to get down to the Cattery. It will be Thursday per Kaltumi. Yeah. Kaltumi also said that Dean Solomon was right, preferred. So just reminding you all that Tom Morris, Dean Solomon, Tom Morris, Kaltumi. Not sure if Mitch Cleary ever went with the Dean Solomon angle, but both of them absolutely went for it. So my point is, just disregard any of it. They will get some right because if you throw enough shit, something's going to stick. So they will get right, but they are essentially guessing and just, throwing options out there. Just saying. But we could find out this week. They might have an epiphany and decide. All right, let's have a chat to Andrew. Hey, Andrew.
Good afternoon, good evening, and hope you get better. Now, some advice from Dr. Andrew would be, you got any vodka at home? Vodka?
I have plenty of vodka.
Okay, good. Do you have lemons?
I do have lemons.
Okay. 2 nips of vodka
Uh-huh.
and 3 lemons squeezed. Just squeeze the lemons into your glass of
Juice.
vodka. Yeah,
Oh,
just squeeze it all. Make it, you got your little whisk glasses, a small glass. So
the
it'd
shot
be three
glasses.
quarters of lemon juice, 2 nips of vodka, bit of ice, and have that all night.
Okay. That'll comatose me. I'm a very lightweight, unfortunately. But yeah,
have 2 or 3 of them, you'll be fine. By the next
okay.
day, yeah,
All
2 or
right.
3.
I mean, it's
Now,
probably good if it kicks me out because I haven't been sleeping that great because my nose has been blocked when I've been lying down. So if it knocks me out, that's probably a good thing.
yeah, it'll be very good for you.
Okay,
Now,
noted.
like that's my preferred drink these days.
Okay,
But yeah, so you'll enjoy it.
done.
Now, let's go. First, I just want to pick up on the coach issue and all the rest of it. Now, when you look at the whole picture, it will not be down to the best coach. It will be down to the best financial option. That's my gut feeling. We have no major sponsor for next year. We have sponsors ready to jump off. We have membership ready to basically walk. Tens of thousands of members not to renew. If we have a very poor start to next year in the first, and I hope we don't, and we can crystal ball or project or whatever you like, but if you're in the marketing financial side of the business, and it is a business, the club will be bleeding dollars, lots of money. So I think if it's going to be held off, I reckon they might be putting it through some modelling in relation to what if X gets it in this scenario, what effect will it do on our financials, and what would X do to our financials? Because let's face it, our list is very good. Okay, we just need the coaches they're looking through are very even. They're all got strengths and weaknesses. But I reckon it'll come down to who's going to basically turn the club or financially strengthen the club. And I'm going back to Herd with this. I think Herd will now people can argue the case not Herd and all that sort of stuff, but I think Herd will actually turn those numbers around fairly substantially. And what happens after the team he gets in? But I don't know. As you're right, they won't announce it, and if it's not Herd, then it's going to be interesting because I like the guy from WA, Graham, as the other option. If they go him, I think they're on a very safe bet in the long term. So it's now,
My only argument that I've been sitting on with that, and don't get me wrong, I understand business because I'm a business owner. So I understand business. But I look at Zach Merritt and I look at, we've had great membership numbers, great attendances for his entire career. We've had wonderful sponsors his entire career. What has that got Zach Merritt? What did that get? Did that get Job, Dyson, flags? It is irrelevant. It does not help you on the field. What helps you on the field is winning. And I understand you need it for business. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you don't need to be wealthy. You don't need to have good sponsors. We will always have sponsors. We might not have flashy, shiny sponsors, but Essendon will never be short of getting a sponsor, ever. It might be the milk bar down the road, but we'll never be short of it. We might not have the flashiest. We might not be able to upgrade our facilities for a couple of years because we don't have money from memberships. But you know what will turn that around? Winning games on the field. All those people who didn't sign up are not signing up because we're not winning. We're not winning. So I think if I asked Zach Merritt, would you exchange 20,000, 10,000 memberships for a finals win? I think he'd do it in a heartbeat. So to me, I'm not so interested in that. I want James Hird because of his tactical mind. I want James Hird because of his footy IQ. I don't want James Hird because of the bribery that members are dangling. I'm going to cancel my membership off him if he's not the coach. I want him because he's, has gravitas and aura and footy nous.
Now you
So
got
that's
me.
how I see it.
Maybe taking out a little bit of context. James Hird would be. He's going to finish in the top two in relation to the selection process. So he will be in the coaching.
Possibly. We don't know. Possibly he very well could. I just don't. I don't. Yeah, I don't. The whole membership and I understand you're not alone. I've seen that argument, Andrew. I'm not yelling at you or anything.
Yeah. No.
Passionately projecting. Just my thoughts.
Yeah.
But I don't buy it myself.
And having different opinions and coming and looking at it different ways is how you come to a conclusion or a judgment or a resolution to the discussion, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. Hopefully it's the right choice. At the end of the day, we're both on the same page and all the supporters want the right choice. But if they're split in relation to both even, they can't split them, what will split them?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking at. And it could come down to that. Let's move on to the game.
And sorry, one second, Andrew. Chris, I'm not saying Merritt stays. I'm using Merritt as an example. Merritt is gone. Goodbye, ciao. Thank you for your service. Great respect for your time at Essendon, except for what you did last year. It's not the point. The point is, I use any player. I could have inserted any other player. But, yeah, onto the game.
Yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, back to the game. Average, now, if I'm right, I might be wrong. If someone can out in the computer world can work this out, our average losing score against Geelong is 69 points, and we lost by 67. So if there's a bit of consolation, we were under that. And you're 100%, 110% right. When we were watching the game, in that second quarter, I thought we were going to be belted by over 100 points. The way the game was going, and we were in a lot of trouble. We actually took the pressure off. Geelong was basically running the ball down and having a field day in front of goal. But they picked themselves up, the players did. Some players started very slowly. Wixie really started, fumbling and a bit, and he developed with the game. Even Peter Wright, had a very slow start to the game, but he worked himself into the game. And I love to see Caddy. Caddy must have been listening to us about running down the field, getting involved. More of that was excellent from his part. Can someone just hold on to young, what's his name, Kako, and tell him not to go in circles? He gets himself in so much trouble. Like now that's junior football stuff, I think. When he might have gone into that habit of doing a 180 type sort of, and a couple of times he got caught or he mucked himself up a little bit. So if he can get that out of his game a little bit, or only do it when he really, he's got the skates on, then that will help. So look, I was quite happy with the performance, even though we lost by 10 goals. It could have been a lot worse. There's some good signs from some of the players. Again, it's development of those young players. And I think the one person who really disappointed me today, where he had his opportunity, and the game should have suited him, was Reece Irwin. Unwin, sorry. That's my dyslexia.
It's all right.
But in relation to his game, I think I made a comment. He had one disposal by half time and 1 metre gain. 1 metre. That's you basically going to the door and opening your door and coming back. Or not even that. They're like your study. To my study to the door is 1 metre. That was shocking. And he only had 16 for the whole game.
He had an almost game, didn't he? Almost. Something almost came off.
Yeah, now I don't know. That might be just a bit of... Some days... Look, I'm going to be too critical. Some players on some days have these sort of days. They have nothing days. Basically, on the ground. But he was on the ground for a fair bit of the time. So I liked Huss' game. Huss' game was okay. Who else played okay? Perkins. I
was about to say, I thought Perkins had a really good game. I did. Maybe really good is a stretch. A serviceable game, I think.
For a half-court flanker, he had a good game. Yeah.
Did he have five inside 50s, the most inside 50? I thought he took his opportunities.
Yeah, that's it. He kicked his 2 goals. For a half-court flanker, that's what in a losing score, what we kicked 7 goals? Did we kick 7 goals? I haven't got the score in front of me. Was it 7 or 8? Only 7 we kicked, didn't we? Anyway, whatever it was, he kicked a good percentage of our goals, which was really good. Condog got better. Like I thought he had a very good game. Condolas, I call him Condog. You wouldn't think I'm a Greek Cypriot, would you? With my pronunciation in games, I actually are just terrible. Anyway, that's okay. So we kept the pressure on. We ran the game. In the first quarter, we could have got a couple of goals on the scoreboard. We missed a couple of iffy, like 50-50 goal, 50-50 shots. They could have gone through, and it could have made it a little bit better. And for a young side, it's confidence as well. Once you miss and another side gets on top of you, it's hard to come back with confidence. And if you don't make the most of your chances, and when the pressure was so high, it was over 200 in that first quarter. Yeah. If you're not getting some tangible reward for it on the scoreboard, it's exhausting. So in the second quarter, they look like momentum had got them, and they look tired. So, and the commentary on Fox, the Geelong fan base on the commentary team. They were with the 2 Geelong supporters on that panel. We got a fair shot. They stopped being condescending once the game got right into. They were a bit condescending about we're a young side and this and the rest of it. And anyway, so that was my bugbear on that. But I had to call out Sharpie. Mr.
It's a beauty,
isn't it now? You can argue the case that, again, and they said in the commentary, he looks tired. He looks tired, Sharpie. He's looking a bit weary, a bit tired. It was in the first half. And I said, you've got to be joking. His performance today was probably one of his best games for the year, for me. Yeah. His second efforts. Mm-hmm. Even Perkins' second efforts were a good there as well.
And Sharp was matched up on Bailey Smith, one of the best freeway runners in the league.
And I reckon he done him over, as far as I'm concerned. I think he bet Smith on the day. I think he had more influence on the game. I don't know.
Smith had a big day, but he wasn't. Yeah. He didn't do anything defensively on Sharp as well. So. He's a beauty. He was
Sharp. Better players too, but so they broke even. Yep. Now, do you think Merritt played he had an audition for Geelong in this game?
I hope he's open minded. But it's funny because I thought he played. I'm going to sneeze. I thought he played a better game tonight than he did last week. And I
Exactly.
think it might have, and I know people absolutely loved his game last week, and I was on the fence about it. I think it has a little bit to do with when you're at the ground watching them and you can see them off the ball, you can see when they give up on efforts, and you can see when they walk. So maybe that versus watching it on TV tonight, I thought his second efforts were terrific. I haven't looked at what his 1%ers were, but he was Superman diving to smother balls that he had absolutely no right to even do. He was getting up and back like a maniac. So I thought tonight, was one of his best games of the year, personally.
He showed the way. He showed the way to the younger blokes, for Endeavour, I thought. And so for my way of thinking, look, it's very good. Keep it up. Then we can put our hand out to Hawthorn and basically saying, well, if you want him.
What about Melbourne? Melbourne knocked off Freo today. Crazy.
Why doesn't he go
to Melbourne? We'll take Sparrow.
I had the Melbourne game on the other two. My partner was watching that. I was in the computer room watching the races and Moe playing Bensdale. So I was going through the three different. Had a bad day at the race at Caulfield. Doesn't matter. I'm not a big punter, but I like a bit of a punt, but that didn't go too well. Had Moe struggling against Bensdale up in Bensdale, but they got over the line. And then had Melbourne, which I was really, really hoping for them to win because my brother-in-law's a good bloke and he's a Melbourne supporter, and hopefully a chew.
Oh God! I'm trying to hold in the sneeze so I don't sneeze on screen, but it's tickling my nose.
So
I refuse to let this cold get a hold of me. I wanted to go throughout the winter without a cold, so I've been doing all the old wives' tales. But I'll get on the vodka after we finish this, Andrew. All right.
If I can put the cauliflower soup through the with turmeric through the
window.
Okay. I'll give you that as well.
I reckon with AI, it's only a matter of time, isn't it? That you can send me something through the computer. Flying cars, surely they're not far away.
Well, that'll happen. Well, anyway. But that's another good little thing to have as well on a cold day, or you got a cold. But other than that,
all right.
I've got nothing more to say. I think next week.
What's your Moby's taking bets? You like a bit of a punt. What day do you think the coach is getting announced?
Well, I reckon. If they made a decision, they had to do it sooner than later, and I would say Tuesday.
You think Tuesday? Moby's gone Thursday. Yeah. I've gone the following Monday.
Only because of we need some sunshine coming through the window. We need some light. We need something.
The VFL is bright, shining light, Andrew.
Well, it's because we've got 2 home games. Okay.
Yep.
Again, we want the attendance. Once that should give us a bump in whoever's the coach is, and this doesn't mean if it's not heard, it's just bad luck. If it's the other three, that we get behind them and we support them, and hopefully they can present. They can be at the ground and all at the home, the two home games, and I definitely don't want them to coach in the last 2 rounds. That'd be terrible to old Solomon, because I think you've got to give him credit, a lot of credit for where in the last. It's taken a few weeks, for them to start playing a little bit of how we should be playing in relation to pressure and teamwork and all the rest of it a lot better, and structure. So he's got them doing a lot of good things. So, and I think he needs, the pressure he's been under, I think he's done a fantastic job, even though, we've got deficiencies and all the rest of it. And I don't know if we should be going for a ruckman. I think we've got, we can pick up a ruckman later on in the draft if we need be, but I reckon we need to go through those key defenders and a couple of more midfielders, whoever they are, as long as they're quality. we cannot get the draft from. And if we can...
Well,
if we
Matt
can,
Rosa was sitting 2 seats down from me with his notepad and pen today at the VFL, which I thought was very cute.
did you go and talk? Did you just
He was
give him the elbow?
he was with Mark Bolton and Tim Roberts
goodness,
at times, and they were focused. So I didn't want to
on our players,
impinge
on some of the players they're thinking about. Well, the thing will be the new coach will have to decide who he wants and who he doesn't, and the quicker they appoint him, the better. So he can get involved in that. It doesn't really matter, does it? Really, at the end of the season, but it'd be good for them to actually be. If it's an interstate coach, it'd be good for them to come down and watch our players live through the finals. Those reserve players, or those players who haven't got contracts, to see them play in person if they can. We'll see how we go with that. But look, it doesn't really matter if it's this week or next week. It doesn't really.
It doesn't. The only thing we're doing is we're fixing the impact. We're hitting exactly. We're hitting we're getting off on knowing. That's all. We're just impatient. We want to know. It doesn't change anything for the next couple of weeks. The behind closed doors, all the same shit is going to go on. So
what happens if they say we're not happy with the foot? Now I've been in interviews. Everybody's been in interviews where the panel says we want to see more people.
More candidates.
More candidates.
Oh, that means the presentations didn't go well. Then I would be very worried. Apparently, they went fantastic at 3 hours long.
Yeah. Well, that's
what we think.
Well, you just never know. You just never know if they don't make a decision in 2 weeks, then you think they're. Yeah, I just think
we've got to allow them to ask more questions. So we'll see how we go.
Okay.
All right, Andrew. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. You get Sunday now to enjoy and not think about Essendon.
Okay, take care.
See you, Andrew. Bye. You guys are making me giggle in the chat. I'm so sorry. Is this very uncomfortable to watch? The sneeze that wants to come out, but I'm holding it in because I don't want to be gross on screen. Beauregard, haven't seen you for a little while. Flying cars will never be allowed. We can't abide by the road rules on grounded cars, let alone nightmare scenario. Flying cars above us. True, but maybe if we can't get the ground, maybe we'll get the air. Because you're right. We can't even get it right on the ground. It doesn't shock me, though. Rick, Sardis will have to cure cancer to get a game. Seems unfair. Isn't that funny? And welcome to psychology class. This is B, psychology class B of the night. Isn't it funny? Okay, so we go all year, the noise around Sardis not getting a game, blah, blah, blah. Brad Scott's the devil, the demon, hunt him down, strip him and, send him to the wolves. Because he won't pick Sardis. Dean Solomon also proceeds not to pick Sardis, and just Essendon supporters are like, all good. Except for Rick, who's pointed out. Just pointing out the hypocrisy, no allegiance to absolutely anyone, just here to point out the facts. But, Sardis was pretty good today in the VFL. Had a few nice clearances, not hugely damaging, I'd say, but some nice little moments. And has, really helped the VFL, has to be said, to get to where they are. So definitely it's got a big role to play now. And, in a way, you kind of just want him to play VFL and have some fun and joy, get the joy there. TL, did you look at Rose's notes? I didn't, but we were watching his reaction. So when someone did something good or bad, I kind of, tried to not be obvious and look at his reaction. And sometimes he'd write something and sometimes he'd, frown his face or grimace. So interesting. Again, this is just my brain going a million miles an hour interpreting him, but really we know nothing. I wonder if he feels excited. I wonder if he's having fun at all of the options and, all the picks he's going to have to play with, or if he feels like extreme pressure. Wonder what kind of temperament he has right now. Andrew, it's okay if you want to mute the mic and turn off the camera and get it out. We permit you to do so. All right. When it rears its ugly head again, I will. Freo play on Friday at home, so Graham can fly over after that game to spectate ours for the last game they play in Melbourne the day before. Oh, it's a bit too brain fogged to work all that out, but I trust you with my life, TL. If it's McVeigh, Davis, or Graham get the job, they will have to finish the season. Yeah, it's interesting because obviously Stephen King, well, Geelong kind of released him last year. So I wonder, you'd think the guy Stephen King isn't, and these assistant coaches, they're committed to their, to their work and their players, and they would have probably insisted. He would have insisted, I'll stay. But Geelong probably said, your mind's going to be elsewhere, so go with the blessing. But you just don't know what these guys are going to be like. All three of them are going to be heavily into the finals. So, yeah, they're probably – I just feel like they'd want to stay. I don't know. Bobby, yeah, but that's why we're here, aren't we? And look, as I said, there's the link. Everybody is welcome to jump on for a chat and banter, because that's why we're here. Everyone, would be great to get some fresh voices, fresh faces. Seb, Essendon are a good club. They'll get back up the ladder. One day. Maybe one day. Merciful. How are you doing? I think Herder McVeigh's assistant would be the way to go. What happens to the potholes in Vic if we're flying cars? Wow. We save some money, Dave. I think we save some mullah. Well, we don't fix them anyway, do we? So maybe not. Oh. Well, we're all going to die one day. Yeah, we are. We really are. Shout out Archie and Ayumi. Happy birthdays. Vigo played well. I don't know these people, but happy birthday, Archie and Ayumi. And shout out to Brad Dowling, Boston Dowling's dad, who I met today at the VFL from Shepparton, watching Boston play. Had another good game and hopefully will help us make the finals with the last game next week. I think there are going to be some clubs looking very closely at him. And deservedly so. He's had a good year. Chris I would pay an embarrassing amount of money to see those clips from the interviews. Oh, me too. I just want it to be a fly on the wall. Fly on the wall. Andrew, do you know something about McVeigh, Fiona? Your Monday week prediction pricked my ears given we play the Swans next weekend. No, I don't. I say this honestly, hand on heart. I know nothing specifically about McVeigh. I would tell you if I knew something and couldn't say, like I always do, because I'm not going to lie to you. And quite honestly, you will tell when I'm lying because I don't have a good poker face at all. And then I wouldn't sleep at night because I'd feel I've been dishonest. That's just how I operate. So I'd be terrible to play cards with. Stewie, how good is footy at Windy Hill? It was so good. I had such a good morning and I was surrounded by friends and it was fun and everyone felt joyful and it was, one day. But we've got the VFL, so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what I have. Really, I am. Hello, Scooter.
Hey, how are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you. It's been a while.
I know. We enjoyed the VFL.
It's fun, wasn't it?
Quality game, quality party pies available. So
yeah, it's true.
So I had fun. Jason Johnson handing out party pies to me is always a good afternoon.
Absolutely.
So look, I don't know. I've just finished my show, so I don't know what's been discussed before. But did you? I'm interested in your thoughts, but I didn't really come away with overly too negative emotion around that game. I was like, oh great, looks like we found a ruckman, we found our midfielder for the next 250 games, and it wasn't 70 tackles, 15 inside 50. Dyson Sharp, 7 intercepts, 7 tackles, 7 clearances, 29 disposals, and over 50% of them contested. So that's when you know you've got something good. But Vigo was great. Vigo was really, really impressive for a wet game. To actually have more disposals than De Koning, almost double his hit outs. That's nothing to just sneeze about for a 20-year-old. That was really, really pleasing. That was very eye-opening for, I think, a lot of fans.
I asked the chat this earlier. What's your opinion? Is there room to play Vigo, Brian, and Peter Wright?
I don't think all three. I think you have to choose between maybe the development of Brian and Vigo and see which one's having the most impact. And it's hard because Brian's obviously coming back from an ACL, so we don't really know. I think this is personally me. I don't think we truly know where he's at till the preseason, till after this preseason. He gets his aerobic aspect part of his game back to really understand. So no, but he definitely showed signs. Vigo today. That was even in the VFL. That was one of my favourite games. If it was VFL or AFL, so it was really, really impressive. So look
nicely. Like he didn't look visibly like timid against De Koning at all, or undersized, or beyond his weight range. Sharpie's falling. So that was really pleasing too, because you think he's going to come up against guys like Gawn and Briggs and these monsters. So yeah, that was really good to see as well.
Yeah. So exactly. He just didn't look out of place. He used the ball well. Yeah, and So so look, for overall, I didn't really come away overly negative. I was probably almost similar to last week, though. The skills were poor last week, but I didn't think our attitude was overly poor. Like I just didn't feel that way, and I kind of felt this way again. That I just felt like, oh no, they're having a crack. There's difference in class and experience, and showing up on the scoreboard. But I never really felt though, they're just thrown in the towel with 3 games to go, which I really like. It tells me a little bit maybe about this group, especially it's the youngest.
Of the second quarter.
Second quarter was it was shocker. But for 3 quarters, for the most of 3 quarters, I felt like we were contesting hard. I
don't know that a guy this big should actually look that silky and quite composed when he's got the ball, but he did.
In those conditions too. Yeah.
Good shout, Broden.
Yeah, I mean it's really interesting, isn't it? It's one to. I would play him next week for sure, because the reason why I say that is, and then obviously I don't know if he's eligible for VFL with how much time. Actually, he should be, shouldn't be.
Is he on my list, everyone? Let me check.
While you're checking, the reason why I would do that is because he's eligible. So so he's got quite 7. A few games to go. Yeah.
Yep.
It's good. It's just a good assessment coming up to this draft on knowing who maybe your number one pick could be, which is Harry Van Hatten, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really just worth. It would be important to understand what you think you've got in Vigo. So I would play him against Sydney. Mm-hmm. Get a bit of an idea of what we've got. Is he, because 20 years old for a ruckman is still very, very young. You're still like 3 years away, really, from making normally an impact. But he beat De Koning a little bit tonight, and that just tells you something. You go, oh, gee, like, how does that work on strategy, and how does that, where do you think this guy's ceiling is? I look, the only area really of his game that he would have to work on is his marking. He's always had, for me anyway, not very good marking hands.
Which you dropped a couple tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's always been, if he had marking hands, I'd be going, gee, he would be our number one ruckman for sure. So if he can work on that and just get a bit more cleaner with that, that's the area of his game and development.
Do you think we still, if we do see the future in him, and I think they really might, and then you got Brian there, do you think we still need to find a ruck somewhere in the developing in the VFL? Might not be Harry Van Hatten, but in some description, because Vigo did 2 hamstrings this year. Brian came off a ACL. There's no evidence. There's not a huge, there's nobody knows whether those things are going to happen again. Freak accidents happen, but just in case for depth.
I mean, there's an argument to say all 3, even Peter Wright's had an injury history. So I think the way the ruckmen are a bit more bash and crash. I think you would want to maybe have that 4th on your list, just to have some dependency. Now, people may say that in some ways that's Blackiston in some ways, but it depends how much you think he's going to make it as a ruckman, I guess. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It's more helpful if you get the AFL assistants with the extra rookie spots to be able to do that. Find someone in the VFL, someone that, whether it's Boston Dowling, right? Obviously, that's an option. So that's the option you would have, as using those rookie spots to find something that can help round out a list and give you some assurance. So yeah, it's.
You think the club I sense that the club are pretty confident that we're going to get something. Do you think it's going to be what is being reported on, that an end of round, first round pick and some rookie spots? Yeah,
I think it'll be the end of first round pick. I think there seems to be industry wide confidence. Like the head of the Herald Sun thinks to think so. Head of the Age, or Caroline Wilson, basically, who we all know has ties to the AFL, very strong ties. And then Cal Tumu has really strong ties because he works for the AFL. So all 3 have gone with, we are hearing that Essendon will be granted. It's more likely that Essendon will be granted. I think Essendon, to my understanding, has some confidence around that it may happen. So yes, in short, I think there'll be an end of first round pick. They'll no doubt try and go for the rookie part to add some maybe mature depth to the list, and that's how probably the club will try and pitch it, to have a bit more protection, to try and avoid blowouts, have a bit more. I think so. I'd be surprised if they didn't. I think the history of the club the last 2 decades, there's a lot going for it, as far as what you're trying to get from the AFL. And look, as someone who's historically not liked this part of the AFL, so hand on heart, I would say I don't like that clubs are doing this, and I don't overly like the assistance package. That's just me. But if West Coast are going to get it, then I'm the other side going, but yeah, if that's the criteria, okay, and that's the rule, and that's a criteria we would have every right to, I think, get it.
I mean, it's just like the free agency compensation, it's, if other clubs are doing it, then we should too. And, exactly. I said for a couple of years now, cut the pride. Who gives a shit? When we win a final, are we going to look back and say, oh, it's because we won a priority pick, Kangaroos beating Western Bulldogs last night? Do they care that they have hardly any members? Do they care that they have hardly no money? Do they care that they got compensation picks years ago from the AFL? No. All they give a shit about is winning. That's why I don't care that a certain coach will bring me members and money. Who gives a shit? If the lights stay on, I will attend the football. I will pay my membership and I will go to the football so long as the lights are on. The lights are never going off. It's just a measure. We might go down a few rungs, but if we win, we go up a few rungs. Swings and roundabouts.
With our club, wins is money. So it's why I believe that in this coaching process, you find the best coach, because the best coach who can develop a system. I mean, even clear tonight, right? There's no doubt we are shocking from midfield to forward entry. And, there's a lot of work to be done about our club and how we move the ball, how we develop guys to move proactively up the field to help the mids. It's not just the mids are at the fault. It's a lot of times up the field is not working hard enough. That's my opinion. We're not spreading hard enough. There's still a lot to go with a coach needing. So for me, get the best coach. If you can get the best coach that transforms to wins, wins means money, wins means memberships. I don't care what anyone says. That's just reality of life. It's like with Essendon Football Club, if you're suddenly entering in 2 or 3 years, more likely 3 years, and you're suddenly going towards a top 6 spot because all these young recruits have got 50 games under their belt and starting to shine, a little bit replicating North Melbourne probably next year, what they're likely going to do, then yeah, that's
the
what
dangling that as the motive, like the dangling that as the motive. Do you think the Kangaroo supporters at Marvel last night felt like they weren't in a Coliseum? You didn't think it didn't feel like there were 100,000 people screaming, and just the essence and the energy of that win last night would have felt like there were 100,000 in there. They don't care, because who cares? As long as you've got a gym and an oval, well, get to work. Like, that's all. It's all the other stuff I'm interested in.
Fremantle historically haven't been a massively huge fan base. They've got a healthy fan base.
But they've always been second to West Coast.
Now at Optus, you know, the last game is 54,000. They're getting massive numbers. Why? Because they're well coached. Because they're well coached, it transfers to wins, and the whole town is excited, and they all go to the football, and it's getting close to sellouts every Freo game.
They don't care that they're second to West Coast. They don't care that West Coast, their fans, don't care that West Coast are wealthier and more and have bigger membership numbers. My point is being the motive to select a coach doesn't interest me personally, and it won't interest the players if they can't win finals. So, but
no, just tell someone. Develop Caddy not to run under the ball.
Yeah.
Someone tell Blackiston not to put an arm over the shoulder or push a guy. Someone tell. I mean, I could go through each player. I'm not picking on them. I could easily go through 30 players of continually bad habits that they have, and they've had for years. And you go, why can't we get them out of that? Like, why aren't we developing them to get those things out of their game? Because I'm still seeing the same thing today as I'm saying the same thing round one last year. So that's my frustration is I just want to see proper professional development where they're going just each year. There is a great incline up on their skills, on how they work with each other, how they get cohesion, and suddenly you see it on the ground, and then we're really hard to beat, and then we're more in games every week, and then suddenly we're winning more. And then that third or fourth year, we're actually a really good team now. Because after this draft, the reason why I've always said this, the reason why I still think our club oddly should be an attractive proposition, despite where people externally rate us, is that someone who follows the draft very closely, I can see what's coming in. I can see what's coming in and what they're joining to. And then I can see that in 3 or 4 years. A midfield of Sharp, Farrow, Roby, Buick, Durham.
Martin.
And Martin. I'm sorry, that's a completely different ball game. But you've got to develop that group, right? They don't click. Some of them will be going to be young in body. Yeah, it takes years. That's the problem. It takes years. But the areas of the ground that you can fix and get right, and then having an immense amount of talent. If you could get Jack Pickett at pick 21 this year, and to me, he's probably almost the best forward.
He's Georgie Dimer
in the draft next to Caddy, and you may have May as a third tall, and suddenly you've got 3 great talls. You get 3 smalls, and like you said, Neoclis or Dimer comes in as well. And then whether it's Harry, whether it's Butler, Butler's class all over the ground, you can really start plugging. The best thing about this draft for Essendon fans is it's so unique in there's so many different areas of the ground where the top 25 players all play. So you can, and it's so even, so you can kind of pickpocket, like, oh, that's, half back, full back, small forward, ruck. You can really start to, Tyson Bradley, another great example of a fantastic, solid defender that you'd love in your team building next to Hayes. And you go, okay, great. Him, Reed and Hayes, fantastic, great future. And that's what you did. That's why I think this draft, you're going to have, I honestly think you're going to have 6 quality kids probably under the pick 25 almost come through. Justice may be a late bid, but I rank him in the top 25. I just think he'll be a later bid, but I think his talent will end up being top 25. So, yeah, maybe I'm talking it up a bit too much, but I think this new coach should be excited, and I'm sure they are, about what they're taking over. And I think all the fan base have an understanding, hopefully, that next year and possibly the next year still might be pretty tough. It's getting 50 to 70 games into that group, and then bang, off we go.
I think it's just as pertinent who these development coaches are as well, because we're already down. Like, the coach is important, don't get me wrong, but he's one guy, and he's not going to be, individually working with these players one-on-one as much as the line coaches and development coaches are. So I'm just fascinated, Scooter, as to who these development coaches are. And rest assured, they have been scouring the planet since the start of the year. I'm pretty convinced of that. Since the start of the season, I should say, they've been scouring the league for development coaches. So I hope, I don't know, are you worried that we're not going to be able to attract quality ones? I don't know. I still... It
is a concern. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt Gia left Essendon because he was advised that being at Essendon, when you're losing so much, actually hurts your opportunity to be a senior coach. So you're going to have some of those top end probably unavailable who seek to be senior coaches. You almost see that middle one who go, my time's up, or I'm not really interested in that bigger role, but I'm very good at my job. You need that sweet spot. And look, the key part to me is, and I've always felt this very strong, is you can't have a Brad Scott contract. What I mean by that is the $1 million a year kind of stuff. You've got to open up your soft cap. A new coach, this is personally me, a new coach has to accept lower pay. We have to, I would in those interviews and say, look, we're still going to pay you pretty well, $500,000-600,000. We're not doing the $1 million thing anymore. We need soft cap. We need to spend on our head of development, head of football, our senior assistant. We need to attract guys, and to do that we got to spend some money. So we need you to almost give up some of your pay as well. And everyone succeeds. If you succeed because of that, your name goes up in lights as well. You can, but
it's the Geelong method. Their players have taken unders. That's how they won their premierships. Every player was on unders so they could share it around and stay together for years to achieve what they did. So it's that methodology.
Exactly.
So I have a question without notice for you. What will tick your boxes for a development coach? Because once again, just like with the coach, we're all going to decide whether we think they're good or shit. There's going to be someone who thinks the development coach named is good, and there's going to be somebody who say he's shit and condescendingly put out the crying laughing emoji in a condescending way, tagging his name, right? So what is a pass mark for you? What to you would exemplify a very good quality development coach? Not names, just characteristics, I guess. Or what are you looking for?
Yeah, I think it has to be someone very experienced. So I'm looking for almost a version of the Fagan of the head of development. So I'm looking for someone who has a certain sense of authority in how they. So I'm looking for an experienced person that has like a track record of good development, working with young players. So yeah, that's kind of how I kind of see it. So and look, hopefully they can bring the right people with them. Like even if it was, if you could poach one or two guys from a certain team, you may. It'll be interesting. Hopefully, whoever the new coach is, you can bring someone. They can bring someone that they know of development. Like I'd say, if it was Graham, right? Could you bring? They're very, very good with development of young players. Who can he bring someone in their development team over? So to me, it's also so he has that natural relationship as well. So you're not overly spending too much time. Yeah, and you're not overly teaching him as well. Like you already understand each other's language. What's important, what you're going to do. I don't have to coach you for 2 months. This is what I think. This is my strategy. This is what. Hey, can you already know? Can you teach now to the other development and start? So it'll be. I'm
because
really hoping.
Obviously, like you've mentioned. Experienced development coaches, because if you look at what we've got, we had quite youngish players, past players, Jared Waite, Gary Rowan, Todd Goldstein, Michael Hurley, Brent Stanton, Ben Jacobs, all past youngish players, but you're thinking someone who's been in the game for a lot longer. The coaching game.
I think so. I'm trying to think of. I wrote down a reason why I'm going through my phone. Sorry, because I actually wrote down a few names.
I thought you might. I thought you might have already thought about this question. That's why I felt pretty confident asking you, because I knew you may have ruminated on it as well. I probably tend to agree, and it probably depends a little bit on who the coach is. But I think a bit of balance would be nice. I think you still need those young. We have a very young list, so I think you still need some of that young, enthusiastic kind of enthusiasm around a young group. Someone who can speak the kids' language, because they like to be silly and be silly, and they talk about young people things. And I feel like I'm slowly drifting away from being able to understand some of the shit that they talk about, that I hear them talking about at training. But I think you need some of that, and you also need a bit of a balance where there's a couple of very serious, not serious, but strong-minded kind of authoritative characters there.
Yeah, here's an example, right? There's a guy named Taylor Whitford. So he's the head of development for the Demons. And I think you go, well, there's a program that are clearly, when these kids are coming in, they're getting good very fast. I'm really surprised about how some have advanced under King. And that's obviously King's coaching as well. So Taylor Whitford would be experienced. Jason Davenport at GWS has had a good track record. Jeff Valentine at Freo, head of development. So they're Cameron Bruce at the Lions. He's an assistant, but has got a good track record. So
good things about Cameron Bruce.
Yeah, so Joel Corey, he's one of the assistants at Freo. So that's, can you bring someone like that across? Even like when you have the Indigenous coach who left,
Barco.
Barco. So Neville Jetta heads up the Pies development, but also helps with Indigenous program as well. So just like he would be one you could have because he can do a bit of both. He actually does a bit of development coaching as well. So there's, but they're all, you're probably going to have to price them out a bit. That's why your head coach can't have that much money. You probably got to put 100 or 200 extra K on their offer. So McCartney at Port Melbourne, someone asked. Look, I definitely would ask the question. Like he is obviously, I don't know how much he's enjoying the senior coach at Port Melbourne, so I don't know if he's just really enjoying that challenge, but he's always been known as one of the godfathers of fundamentals of football. He's just known as like, you teach fundamentals to kids, he's one of the best at it. So you definitely have an interest in that. But yeah,
it's lots of decisions to make.
Yeah. It's,
I wonder.
it's a,
I wonder how quickly after the coaches announced that the development coaches or the assistant coaches, whatever they're called, same. I wonder how close they are after announced. Perhaps not till end of season if some of them are at clubs playing finals. We don't know.
yeah,
But
it's
Moby's taking bets. When do you think? Pick a day and a time if you choose when the coach is going to be announced.
I'm going to say I've probably got similar intel to you. So I'm going to say the following Tuesday.
Okay. It still could be next week. We're just saying, but I don't know. It could be a couple of weeks, could be 2 weeks' time. I don't think they feel like they're in a rush either. I don't think they feel an immediate need to do it. So we wait and see. We'll continue to be impatient altogether, but there's 100,000 of us being impatient altogether. So
I know we get to hear a whole lot of bad media takes who have no idea what's going on.
Exactly.
Next week.
Exactly.
Try and guess which day it is.
Yeah. I love my life. Oh.
I still my favorite of all time is literally McVeigh may have the job because he's the last of the presentations, and then we find out that there's someone else. There's a presentation after McVeigh from someone else.
Kids, journalism 101. When I went to journalism at uni, that was not taught to us of how you put your theories and predictions out, but apparently things have changed in the old land of Tom Morris. But all right, all good.
Now, I will say this though. Mm-hmm. I think they'll have a general feeling this right now. So I like hand on heart, I think they will know by Monday or Tuesday who's the likelihood. Oh. Just the checks and balances, the HR component may take another half week or so to complete to make the announcement done. So you got to remember, you've actually got to do a contract. So how many years, what their pay is, the conditions, bonuses. There's a lot of things to tick off. You don't just announce. There's a lot of things to tick off before two parties sign, right? So there's a lot of things. I think right now they'll know.
Police check on any of these guys. Yeah. Oh God! I mean, it would be so Essendon, would it not?
Church check. Yeah, so they're gonna
any political.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's not go there.
Yes.
You're right, Scooter. And look, as I'm saying again, it could be next week or it could be the following week. We don't know. They could get all those checks done in the next couple of days. But as you say, they probably have a firm idea of who they want, or at least top two, maybe.
Yeah. No, I mean, my humorous, my childish humorous brain says, wouldn't it be fun if they announced McVeigh at quarter time against Sydney and then he just took over?
Just have to walk across.
They just ran over to the other huddle. Said, "All right, I know what they're doing. This is how they're."
I'm here for the drama. It's been a pretty lonely season, so I guess we'll take any entertainment we can get. We would look. I wonder what the journalism stories would be like then. Hey, the point is, nobody knows, do they? Nobody knows.
No, nobody knows, and that's a credit to the club. So they've been watertight on this one. So it's been a pretty strict process. Can't really fault them on the process. But yeah, it's taking time. But Tasmania took a year to find their coach, and Carlton started 2 weeks before us, and they're running about 2 weeks after us. So we're ironically the quickest. So before everyone slams the Essendon Football Club, we're actually running the quickest process out of all these clubs. Just remember, it takes time to make a big decision, especially when you also know within that is 5 key roles around the coach as well. We're basically November 1st, where we're all going. You're going to be going to training, Fiona, in November. I have to try and get to know a whole lot of coaches I've never seen before. walking around. So it's a big deal. It's a big change. It's the president's putting his kahunas out there by making the decision with the CEO themselves. They're not leaving it to an external party to say, tell us what we think so we can blame you if it doesn't work out. They're saying we'll take control of it and we'll be the ones under the fire if it doesn't work out. So I give them credit.
Yep, we'll wait patiently, impatiently. We have no control over it, so we wait and see and refresh Twitter and continue to be completely unproductive in our real 3D lives. But this is the team we barrack for, so upon the train we stay. Scooter, as always, an absolute pleasure spending some of the day and evening with you. I'm sure we'll see you back many, many times, perhaps next week. Just keep in mind, everyone, when the coach is announced, we will absolutely be doing a live show that evening. So whether it's Tuesday, Wednesday, following Monday, get back here for the evening because we will do a live show and, we'll chat about it. And you can break down, cry, celebrate, whatever feeling suits your.
Depending on who it is, I might have to come around and counsel Fiona live on air. Depending on who it is.
We all may need some, but I think generally, hopefully, the vibe is we're just all on board. After the emotions are out the way, that's hopefully the vibe.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
All right, Scooter. Take care. Enjoy your Sunday, football free, and we'll catch you soon.
Thanks, everyone. Catch ya.
Bye. Catch ya. Yeah, what a weird old time that we find ourselves in. Hey. I love this from you, SD. Let's go with SD. It will be heard. Sauce Cafe. I love that sauce. Is that sauce just as good as the Trust Me Bro University sauce? I think it is. I think it really is. All right, let's chat to Dave. Hey, Dave.
Trust Me Bro sauce. I like that.
Yep. Trust Me Bro University. It's a very big campus.
Two things about the snot, okay? I've been in a Teams meeting where a lady has sneezed during the meeting and the snot hit the camera.
Ew.
And so just be careful when you sneeze. And I've taught my son the word moccoli because obviously that means kind of boogers in Italian. And so he knows when he's got a runny nose, the best thing about a runny nose is the end of it where it all goes dry because you can pick your nose a lot. So he's kind of happy when he gets sick. That's a boy thing.
Thank you for bringing the tone down, starting with snot. So the only way is up. Next on your agenda, please, Dave.
It's a boy thing, trust me.
Okay, gotcha.
And Day Wicks, when he ran into the camera, did you see that on the TV? And he said, "Sorry, mate." I thought that was really good. Anyway,
bless. It's polite, but it's nice when they go hard and beeline the ball, and he's a hard nut and he'll tackle with the rest of them. But then he's got manners too. Like very good parenting. Well done, Mr. and Mrs. Archer Day Wicks.
He nearly took a really good mark, and Kondo nearly took a really good mark throughout the game. They were so close to actually getting it. So I thought that was good. And I know it's not our game, but how good was that Freo and Melbourne game? If that's the grand final this year, I'm happy because I
didn't watch it because I was at the VFL.
Oh, it was so good. I watched basically the last quarter I got to see, and it's worth watching the replay. It was both teams were over 100 points and stuff. It was just goal for goal. It was fantastic. Vigo was good. Vigo was really good. I thought just the attack on the ball, even in that second quarter when they were getting thumped, they were still attacking the ball. They were just unlucky and stuff. So the endeavour throughout the whole 4 quarters was really good. Zach Merritt, I thought that was his best game for the year nearly, because he put his body on the line the whole game. And that rained. I don't know how hard the rain was. If anyone was there, how hard the rain was, how hard it was raining.
Dave just got home from the cat park. Can you please advise? Hard day at the office, but how hard was the rain, please, David? Can we have a weather? Tell us about the weather. Yep.
Yeah.
Because it was very windy today at the VFL. It was doing really, really very strange things with the ball. So even if it was just wet, it looked like it was windy potentially too. So anyway, continue, Dave.
And Sharp, enough's been said about Sharp, but he was just, yeah, he was good. He was real good. And Jai as well. I thought Jai, that was his kind of comeback game from injury. I think, he didn't do a lot with the ball and stuff, but he tackled. I don't know how many tackles he ended up with if you look it up, but
led the ground.
He was everywhere, tackling and stuff. So he did a lot for the other players out on the ground today, I thought, from what I saw.
Here we go. Pissing down except for the third quarter.
There you go.
The skills weren't. I mean, they were bad. We turned the ball over in very dangerous positions, but in general, I didn't think they were outrageous. Or maybe I'm just getting. I'm too conditioned to our bad. When I say not too bad, like in comparison to how Geelong were using the ball as well, they were obviously lowering their eyes a bit better going into forward 50. But outside of that, perhaps I'm just conditioned at this point.
It doesn't. The chaos ball. We don't really play that a lot unless McGrath's got the ball because every kick of his is basically a chaos ball. So he tends to not really look where he's going and it kicks it over his shoulder all the time. I don't know how he does it, but what else? That was kind of it. Perko was good. Unwin he just had a shit game. He just couldn't get near it and stuff, and that's fine. Everyone kind of has that.
Kako just can't find his flow state and his rhythm.
But he's
just not clicking.
He's so close, and that's he would be so happy that Huss is getting the ball though at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but he's just that little bit off, and I don't think he needs to go to the seconds or anything. I think he'll just find it, and whether that's it could be next year that he finds it and stuff. But he'll be there. So I have faith that he can find it. So. And that's kind of it, really. I didn't. There's been no media thingo yet, but the coach not this coming week, but the week after, at the end of the week. So that's
you think another 2 weeks?
I reckon Friday. I reckon on the Friday or something because we play. I think on the Saturday we're playing Port Adelaide on the Saturday. So.
I thought we play Sydney next week. If I got my
we play Sydney next week, but then the week after we play Port. So I reckon that week. Yeah. So it's what's that? Friday week. That's my bet.
Oh, okay. That's really going to infuriate the fans. And when I say infuriate, I mean we're just projecting our impatience, of course. But I would love that just to stick it to the media. I'd be here for it just to show the media that it has been an absolute watertight process. Yeah. But I'd hate that for us. But, it's not about us. Well, it sort of is about us, but it's, peripherally about
before the
us.
end of the season. It's before the end of the season still. So, and it gives whoever's going to get the job time because you'll have finals on and you can't really do much during finals other than do interviews with the players and stuff like that. And I don't know. Yeah, you don't know how much input that person's going to have and stuff. So, that's my bet anyway.
The other thing is some of these players that we're thinking about, Tom Sparrow, his name just popped out of my head. Bulldogs.
Artie Jones.
Yeah. They'll be playing finals too. So it's not just some of these coaches, 3 out of the 4 candidates playing finals, but they're not going to make calls and have interviews with those players who are focused on playing finals. They're managers, but so there's all of those, potential roadblocks.
And I missed last week, but were you talking about Brad Johnson on? Did you talk about what he said about Pendlebury before last week's game?
Was it that he should be the coach?
Yeah.
Was he? I thought that was a gag. He didn't seriously say Pendlebury should be the coach.
Yeah.
The head coach. No, surely not.
But it would be if he does retire at the end of the year, he would be one of the perfect development coaches or assistant.
Definitely, not the head coach.
Not the head coach.
Drinking?
Yeah, no, he said that. He said he should come in straight away. And he said it. He had a smile on his face, but Brad Johnson always has a smile on his face. But yeah, he said that. So
With development coach, of course. Player coach, maybe, but head coach. Okay. Okay, sure, Brad. Sure thing. Let's do that. Okay. Right. Crazy times. Anyway. All right, Dave. Well, Stephen, I believe, has some options for you up there in Brisbane.
Oh, on Wednesday. Eka Day.
Going up
Yeah,
to
it's
Brisbane,
a public
okay.
holiday. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Mansfield. That's a long way.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway,
Or just jump online and you'll hear some debriefs.
is Jade
All
going
right,
to
Dave.
it? Are you online? Are you going to go to it?
Jade, I don't think not if we're not playing up in Brisbane. I don't think she'll travel there just for a. She's been to plenty. She's watched them speak plenty of times, so I don't think she would travel there for it. All right, Dave. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. We'll talk to you soon.
You too. Take care.
Catch ya. Bye.
Ciao.
All right, let's have a chat to Chris. Hey, Chris.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, probably just yeah. Yeah. Wish we won. But they're just too clean, too classy. We struggle when we go inside 50, compared to them. When they go inside 50, they always convert.
Spot on. Yep. Feels like every team we play just does it with ease.
Yep.
And we have to burn 1,500 calories, get
exactly.
a concussion on the way, burn players, tumble turn before we get a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's but it has to be on the coaching staff, because when you look at it, when Voss left Carlton, all of a sudden something just clicked with them. They were playing for their coach. Do you reckon our group's not really playing for Solomon? They don't really.
I don't agree with. I don't know. I've said it before. I don't subscribe to the playing for the coach because it changes every week. 1 minute they're playing for Ross Lyon, the next minute they're not playing for him because they're losing. It's just not. It's not an accurate measure of that metric, in my opinion. I think Josh Fraser has changed their game plan. There's no doubt he's changed positions, players' positions. So
we change our players every week, their positions, don't we?
We do. We definitely do.
So what game plan do we have?
It's a great question. I don't know. At this point, I don't know.
Yeah. So even getting, say, first round pick, what will that do?
Do nothing if their first round pick is dropped into an environment that has no good coaches, no good development, and that's why I keep saying about Perkins and Cox. Their whole football life has been in a development program that has been subpar. So who knows if you pop them into a development program with development coaches that is even half as good, what they'll be like. Even a little bit better than what it was. So jury's out for me.
If I compare, say, Nate Caddy to Logan Morris, they entered in the same year. So, Logan Morris entered in 2024. Same did Caddy in 2024.
Okay.
They entered in the both same season, same year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Look at what Logan Morris has achieved compared to Caddy. I'm not saying Caddy's bad. It's just Morris has been coached in a proper, in a proper system, proper, good coaching regime compared to us.
Yeah, if you switch the two, Caddy would be like, how nice would it be just to be drafted to Brisbane Lions? Dreams come true, mate. Drafted to Sydney, winning. Drafted to Geelong, winning.
Yeah, I mean, look at Sam Draper, like how much he's improved going to Brisbane compared to when he was with us. Do you reckon?
I mean, he's in a good system. He's in a winning, in a premiership winning team. Any player, I fully believe. I think if you drop Nick Cox into Brisbane, I think he's improving. I genuinely do, which is an indictment on us. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's a complete indictment on our club and our development that we're saying this. But it is also, you have to credit Brisbane because they've built that. And where were Brisbane? When was it? 10 years ago when Murray Davis was there? On the bottom of the ladder, ready to be cancelled out of the AFL. Nobody's going there. Nobody's staying there.
Yeah. So that's why the board have to get this decision right.
Yep.
On the
spot on.
Yeah. Even they said on 3RW, if we're like this like next year with 0 and 5, and like Hurd not being the coach, then the narrative will still be the same to get rid of the coach.
Well, yeah, that will be on us. Well, when I say us, not me, because I won't be saying that, but that will be on supporters' fault. It won't be the club's fault. It won't be the current coach's fault. It will be the external politics and the fans' fault. And all those people, the paradox of that is that all of those people want Essendon to be great, and yet they will be sabotaging potential greatness, which is just, I just can't compute in my own brain, but this is the universe that we live in. So anyway, hopefully we don't have to experience that.
Yeah. I don't know, out of all of them, Murray Davis, I don't know if he's the right one for us. Like the other three are, I mean, besides Hurd, McVeigh and Jamie Graham, they're better. But I don't know about Murray Davis. How long has he been at the Crows for?
He was at, oh God, I did that video, but I did it for all of them, so I forgot it. What did I say in that? Is it 15 years at Brisbane and then is it 3 at Adelaide? 2 Adelaide? Something like that. I have to go back and see off the top of my head. I can't remember, but something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Thingo, the number one question for the board to ask the new coach would be, can you guarantee us to beat Richmond at Dreamtime game?
That's your favourite? That's your favourite game? Your number one? Okay.
No. That's the question the board should be asking the new coach, on their interview.
Yeah, why is that?
Yeah. Oh, because we lost that game and then Brad Scott got sacked.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. If they all say yes, then they'll get the job.
Okay.
Otherwise, if they say no,
well, I think all four are going to answer yes to the question, just quietly if they're asked.
Convincingly, they have to say yes.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Test the resolve by the answer to the question. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Or hook them up to a lie detector and see who's bluffing. Don't mind it. And so before we let you go, when do you think it's going to be announced?
I know. I reckon maybe after we finish like the season, because
oh, okay, yep.
What's sort of like the point? Because we really got nothing to play for,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
so yeah, 2 weeks is the end of the season essentially. So
yeah, I mean, next week we play at the MCG next week, not Marvel.
Oh, did I say Marvel? Sorry.
Yeah, so we're pretty much gonna get a thrashing because we can't play at MCG.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, last game play at Marvel.
Yep. It could be in between those weeks, could be after. Yeah. We don't know. Or it could be next week. We don't know.
Yeah, and how right was Caroline Wilson? Like, I think she was saying the whole time. I believe John Longmire is going to be the coach of Essendon on agenda setters. She was saying that.
Oh, I don't think she ever. I don't even think she said that 100% from what I listened to.
I think I believe that John, how she
Well,
always.
I think she said he'll be right in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she said I believe John Longmire will be the coach, but Caro's always right.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Again, she's not always wrong either. That's the thing. Tom Morris. That's what I meant. They all throw, and something's going to land because that's just law of averages. But Tom Morris is the worst for me. So he's contractually. Contractually
he believes
obliged.
that McVeigh's going to be the coach,
and that may happen. And he'll be dancing on daisies, saying, "I got it right. I told you so." But he never actually, as I said, he's picking one of four. So 25% chance. We wait and see. All right, Chriso.
Yep. Okay.
Take care. We'll see you next time.
Okay. Thanks.
Catch ya. All right. Here we go. Let's chat to Tim.
Hi, Fiona.
Hi, Tim. He's behind a brick wall tonight. How are you?
Yeah, that's right. I've smashed through the brick wall.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I had the same vibe as Scooter, that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Though at halftime I was feeling a lot of pain.
Excuse me. Am I a duck? I believe I did say that with my first breath on this show, Tim.
Oh well, I concur. I wasn't right at the very start, so I apologise if I concurred with you. But
enough.
yes, so yeah, and the person who said that we're shit. Yeah, we know that we're at a we know where we are, and we're looking forward to how do we get from where we are to where we want to be, and extracting the positives and going, well, here's a plank that's in good health, and we've got all these other shitty planks we need to remove, but let's extract the good and see where we are progressing towards the final destination. And I thought there were.
It's so funny. I'm so sorry. Like when you say Final Destination,
you think of the movie?
I think of because everyone's calling you a pilot of their headset.
So no, so I think the positives. The last 3 weeks we've seen, much better tackling, pressure, effort from the whole team for the whole game. Where we're failing is our skills and some of our decision making, and the lack of cohesion, and they're all intertwined. And whoever the new coach is, or coaches, because I think basically it's going to be a full rebuild of the coaching departments. We've got one coach remaining, who's the forward coach, who's the one that we need to get rid of the most, because the biggest failing has been the lack of any improvement in our forward, over a long period of time. And I was, as it was going through the various presenters tonight, I was thinking how the teams of the past, you would see player improvement year after year, and players usually were, each player would be on a trajectory. Each year they'd get better and better and better, up to until age or injury, ended their development. And I'm thinking of over the last 4 years, you look at all these players, you go, there's a lot of players who haven't gone anywhere, despite being in their youth to mid, so you think of Perkins and Cox and these guys who came in, and you go, well, they haven't really changed in that period, which is really remarkable when you look.
Strange.
That's strange. It should almost be automatic, regardless of coaching. You'd expect that they played more, they got more experience, they get better. It's that's the common pattern. We haven't seen that, across the board. So that's an indictment on our coaching and development over that period. And I wonder if we don't, they just haven't focused enough on maintaining skill, not just, on changing the game plan and drilling the game plan and that sort of thing. Because, you think about a musician, they never stop practicing. If they stop playing their instrument, they get bad. And so there's a certain level that you do to just maintain where you're at, and there's a certain level you've got to do to get better. So I think they need some more science-based, talent in their pool, not just footballers or people with football experience. Get some Australian Institute of sports scientists in there as well, working on their skill development programs and making sure that maintaining and improving their basic skills is also part of the plan, particularly during the season, because I remember being staggered that most teams don't practice goal kicking during the season because the fitness guys don't want them doing it because of the risk of injury. And you go, okay, all right. So you've got a fit player who has no skill because they haven't practiced any of their skills. So I'd like someone who can crunch the numbers and come up with, something that's based on, process and real data, and not on, this is how we did it back when I was at high school, and when I played under, whatever coach is what we did. So I'd like to see something like that included in the.
It's getting worse next year, Tim. Less contact, not just less goal kicking, but less contact, and that's what a team like us needs. Oh God.
Yeah. So So if you think of any high performance athlete like an Olympian, and you think of how much training and practice and all that sort of stuff are they doing, and loading and stuff, and I'm sure they're doing some of that, but I certainly see no evidence of that translating into development and improvement.
Here's the thing for me on this, right? And I said this at training to a friend during the week. That the AFL have mandated these limits because of what we know, what's happening with Geelong now. Secret waivers being signed. They want to protect themselves from legal cases down the track. But the thing that your Michael Jordans, your Kobe Bryants, your Ronaldos, your Messis, your Djokovic, your Federers have in common is that they don't stop when they leave the organisation. It's the extras that they go and outsource outside of what's set for them. That is what sets champions apart.
They're just doing it non-stop.
It's being so obsessed with winning a flag with your teammates that you obsess over it out, that you do everything you can. And that is why, and not just physically, mentally, because all those guys I just listed, Kobe, Djokovic, all of them, they invest in their mindset training outside of 100%. The club. Because the club has a psychologist, that's fantastic. They can go express their feelings, but it's the extras that you do on the mind, because it's repetitive work. It's repetitive work over and over. It's not one and done, one session a week in the psychologist's office. And it's the same thing with goal kicking. It's not just staying behind at main training and kicking goals a couple of times a week. It's an obsession, putting time aside, hiring a coach outside of the football club with your own cash. Just like Matt Rao did. He won a Brownlow because he brings his own dietitian with him.
Was like that.
He brings his own dietitian with him and strength and conditioning guy with him to travel. He pays for him to travel with him. That's how you extract the best out of yourself, and that's how you inspire your younger teammates and other teammates to do it too.
Yeah, it's not about doing the minimum that's enforced. You're doing all this other stuff because you want it so bad, and you're looking to like Merritt. When he was going and talking to, outside people who, in terms of how he could improve his game, I think he talked to Bucks, and not about leaving the club or anything, about just how to get better. He was constantly looking at ways to get better, and you want all of them to have that, that mindset. I think we've got a lot of those, like the new young kids. I think there's a lot of that in them. I think Caddy's got that.
But that's why I give a lot of credit to Elijah Sardis, who has done this for a couple of seasons now outside of when he leaves the four walls, he has a coach, a kicking coach, a training coach who he trains with outside of the club, and I give him a lot of credit for that. I just don't know that, and again, it's not all physical. I think 60% of it has to be mental. So they're not putting extra load on their bodies when they should be recovering. It's the mental work as well, the mental reps.
Yeah,
but it's a collective.
And
it needs to be all of them.
And they should be doing a program that's individualized. Different players need different things, both mentally and physically, and they should have a program that's tailored, to them, and they should be using whatever incentivizes and motivates each individual, because it's not one size fits all. If you treat them all the same, you'll have some that get horribly demotivated. Like some players like to be, have the coach yell at them and tell them to do stuff, and others, they'll go into their shell and they'll go, you need to tailor your message appropriately to the.
And that's why, but even that, some of them will really take to who's in charge and and their way of leadership, but some of them won't. So instead of cracking the shits or, just saying, I want to trade, they go and they find someone who is their flavor, who they learn best off, who understands their language. And that's how you harmoniously become a really good team, because you understand that in a team environment, you're not going to get along with everybody. You're not going to click with all the
that's why you have power. A coaching panel. It's not one person. The focus is the same. We want everyone to improve, and we want the team to improve as a whole, and we want to be supporting the players in their development. But so I'm hoping that this is a reset, and we go forward from here. We've got a lot of good raw material. It's great that we're finally seeing that solid effort, even when the result is a foregone conclusion. They don't put the cue in the rack. They keep on keep on trying. I just wish we'd get a little bit of luck. Like, we started well today. It was like last week. It was tight. I think we got to halfway through the first quarter, and it was still 0-0. No one had got a goal, and it was I think then Pryor had that shot on goal that he hit the post, and then and go, we just need a bit of luck. We just need that'd be his first goal. That gets the team up and running. We never had a moment where they could really get excited and get some momentum. We were always just basically hanging in there and hoping things would turn around. But I'd just like to see some coherence up forward. Caddy not climbing over the back of right. Two separate, leading patterns that split the pack, not concentrated, and that occasionally we centre the ball in front of goal rather than going as deep as we can into the pockets, to the leading forward, who for some reason think that's the best opportunity to get a goal is from 50 metres.
I do know a certain forwards coach who has gotten a forward line humming beautifully. Oh God, what I would do to have some of that synergy or craft. And it can't just be the players, because the players have changed over the years. So it has to be, you're right, it has to be the forward craft coach.
Fundamentally wrong there.
Because we've turned over players through there. And I just want to remind people, we're being talked about, in terms of forwards, but let's not forget that Archie May is a big piece of this puzzle, a huge piece of this puzzle.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Yeah. So, there were good signs, today, that they're starting to build a bit of mental resilience, and that they haven't put the cue in the rack. And I think Tuesday we'll find out. I'm with Moby. I think it'll be Tuesday. Okay. I'm pretty sure they've all presented to the board now. The board will meet, Sunday and Monday to discuss. They'll have made the decision. They're probably meeting tomorrow. This is all supposition on my part. I bet they meet on a Sunday because they all have other things. So they'll have a board meeting to discuss it all, and then Monday they'll be finalising stuff. Getting the person to sign on the contract thing, and providing we don't leak like they did with Brad Scott, they'll announce it on the Tuesday.
Well, here's the other thing, right?
Otherwise, it's next Tuesday.
Well, okay. All right. Yep. Noted, Tim. Here's the thing as well. So 3 of them will be told they haven't got it, right? So those 3 will tell their managers, or the managers tell them, vice versa. And then the managers will leak to, so it won't be the club leaking anything, I can assure you. It will be coming from the managers, who then leak it to the media, and then we will have no choice but to leak the coach. But obviously we'll be telling 3 before we tell the 1. So
No, I don't think they'll tell the 3 before the 1. Like for Tassie,
whichever way it goes, we'll
like
tell the 1, and then we'll tell the 3 very close after. It's just who goes first.
I think they'll obviously tell the 1 because they have to get the agreement from the 1 and the signature from the 1. That will happen on the Monday, and then probably Tuesday morning they will tell the other 3 officially that they haven't got it. Assuming no leaks. Because then they can leak it and it doesn't matter. It's been at the same time, just prior to doing the press release, that's when they'll tell them. I don't know, like Bucks found out late, after, Hinkley, was chosen. They don't tell them because it'll leak. So they no.
But I'm just saying, like, one of the 3 will possibly, it will be leaked through one of the 3 before we get
it'll be leaked, but
coach,
I expect the leaking will happen, Tuesday morning. And there'll be a press conference at 11 or 1 or something on Tuesday. That avoids, because as soon as it moves into Wednesday, Thursday, then it's running into their normal presses and all their other stuff for the normal thing. So they'll always want to do it on a Monday or Tuesday. That's my prediction. And Moby's prediction, he predicted Tuesday as well, so I'm locking in.
I think he scuttled backwards though, and he said he didn't specify which Tuesday, but I'm like you, Tim. I think he meant this coming Tuesday. But we'll wait and see. We'll be back here either way. So, all right, Tim, thanks for jumping on.
One last thing, just to
sure.
I think shout out to Artemis. I think he was,
yes,
improved yet again. So I think he's well and truly slotted in. And go Bombers. We've just got to avoid beating Port accidentally now.
Well, I am just noting that. I mean, firstly, this is a very low-scoring game, but Richmond beating Adelaide so far in Adelaide. It's the 3rd quarter, not by much, only by 8 points. But
go Richmond, because then we can go full on and beat Port.
100%. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it looks like it's raining there too. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Good plan,
thanks,
Tim.
Fiona.
All right. Catch ya. You too.
You later in the week.
Bye.
Cheers.
All right, everyone. We might leave it there unless anybody else feels like coming on for a chat. I'll pop the link there for the last time. But otherwise, what you're all doing in chat? Anything interesting? Jade is home from Geelong. Yeah, big day. It's a pretty exhausting excursion, isn't it? Going to the football and supporting our team, has to be said as well. That's another layer of exhaustion. But Andrew, as long as the announcement email SMS is sent to the members before the press conference released to the public and on the socials, I think it'll all happen together. But I dare say are they not like contractually obliged to tell someone in the media, like a Kaltumi? I feel like they would be, and then have them say it and at the same time simultaneously put out their own press release. I don't know. It's just the conspiracy in my head. Andy, rumor has it there's a secret 5th candidate we don't know about. Well, that will be that person. I know you're joking, but I have had this said to me, actually, messaged to me multiple times, which just helps me get a very open view in terms of how the Essendon fandom are thinking and feeling. Scuttle, how bloody dare you prance, strut, shimmy or creep, never scuttle. Fair, sorry, I misspoke. Should have said creep, never. You, Moby, no. Chris Wesnol, he has a poker night. He warned all of us last week and he warned me during the week. He has a poker night. All right. I know you were joking, Andy. All right. I'll leave you with this because I came across this online and I thought it was kind of my hope and wish and dream for my football club. And I hope I one day support a club that kind of embodies this sentiment. And it was from a man called Manny Sid, who is the chief of police at the Anaheim Police Department. And he wrote this: build a team so strong, no one can point the leader out. Because real leadership is not about barking orders or standing in the spotlight. It's about creating a culture where everyone moves with purpose, takes ownership, and shines in their own right. When the vision is clear and the standard is respected, the whole team carries the brand with pride. Ego kills progress. Alignment builds empires. Put the right people in the right positions, empower them, and watch how unstoppable the mission becomes. When everyone is locked in, there is no weak link, just a unit that moves as one. I love that. And I hope that is my hope for our football club, that we embody that entire sentiment. Players, coaches, fans alike, fan attitudes, people in power outside of the club who have controlled the club in the past. That is pretty much what I hope we embody and as a club. So we only sit back. We have no control. We can only sit back and spectate and hope and wish and dream and be along for the ride. So enjoy your Sunday. You'll get your Sunday to any good games on tomorrow, actually? I feel like I'm always braced. We play on Sunday, so I feel like I'm always braced for the Sunday, and I don't feel like I get to enjoy the entire round of football. Who we got? GWS and Suns. Well, that's a dead sort of, well, not a dead game for GWS. They need to win, but Suns are West Coast and Collingwood. Collingwood do need to win. It's in Perth, so that could be fun. And then why is St Kilda Carlton on at 7:20? It's not a public holiday on Monday. No. Okay, but that's Spud's game. And both of those teams want to play finals. So that will be a great, entertaining game. All right, enough from me. I am going to go and try and sneeze, just saying, because I'm so sorry for the disgusting nasally-ness of tonight from my end. As I said, enjoy your Sunday. I will see you back here tomorrow night for the rating show with Pom. We'll have a bit of fun. Third last of the year, and then I'll see you throughout the week.